Now, this is a pretty good time for us to step back and work on some of the common issues people have through the first part of this form. What I tend to see a lot is the step. And by the way, this step is at the epicenter of everything. When you've got this step down, simply going from your back leg to the front, then everything else falls in. It shows up in the turns, the walk. It shows up when we're pushing and we're pulling. Pretty much everything about this is learning how to keep upright and to push the weight through. The arms come secondary. And uh, as we do this, I'll turn around so you can do this with me. Let's step forward. Notice the back foot is about 45 degrees. Step forward, push forward. So the big things that I see are one, the back heel. Everybody wants to pick that back heel up. Don't do it unless we're moving. So when we're walking and we half step, we'll pick that back heel up, not because we're using it to push ourselves off balance, but because we're sunk, we have our balance, and we can now take that foot with us. It's a very, very different concept. So as you step forward, the other thing I notice all the time is people's feet come together like this. So you might not be able to see from that angle, but right lined up with the camera, my front foot goes right into my back foot. And that's fine if we don't get pushed this way and we don't need really good balance. You have to put the foot out. So the idea is that we've got railroad tracks, not a tightrope. I know I said that on the video, but I can't belabor the point too much. So we're here. This back foot, 45 degrees, front foot over and forward. As we shift forward, we push into this front knee. So really sink into that knee. Now, too far is too far. You don't want the knee to go past the toe. You want it to go right up to the toe and to form a nice T. That's going to be your strongest and most stable spot. So you push it forward, form the T, and you'll notice that your weight and your balance holds much easier this way. From here, you'll feel nice and solid. And the other thing is the head. That head always wants to kind of thump over or back or whatever. So that is our picture. So let's get into picture one, which is our back foot 45 degrees. Step the front foot over, sink into the back foot. The other thing I notice is when people try to step, they're already pushing their weight forward, pushing the weight forward, pushing the weight forward. That way, if that step wasn't there, whoa, you'd wipe out. Problem. Instead, and if you have trouble, if you can't lift one foot up without toppling, chances are you're not over far enough. And I'm going to do an entire video on balance, or probably a few videos on balance, but I'll give you the main points right now. Head up, mind in the belly, legs soft. You can feel your balance points on the bottoms of your feet, and you can feel the movement that needs to happen going into the legs. They catch you, they stay soft. So that when we stand, now this is the big point I was trying to make here, your hips need to go all the way over so that your belly button lines up with your foot. If my belly button is between my feet and I pick this foot up, I will fall every single time because my center of gravity is already over. It's like having a Jenga tower and leaning it on only the right block on the bottom. Is that a weird metaphor? Anyway, over, sink, belly button right into that toe. Head up, you're balancing a book on it. Everything's loose, the leg is soft. That way we have our balance and we can take our nice, easy time sticking the leg out. And then from the hips, from the back leg, push forward. keep the head up, keep the tail down. Bend that leg and make sure the back heel stays down. So here we are again, right foot 45 degrees, belly button sinks in, head right down, relax, step out and forward, push the hips forward so that the right knee is bent, keep the head up, tuck your tail down. Good. From here, just shift back onto the back foot and forward onto the front. That's the basis of a lot of our motion, is simply pulling back and forth. If we pull back and leave the toes up, that can be our rock step. If we simply drop back and down into this back leg, we have our push. So back, forward, feel how comfortable you are. Bounce in the middle of these two and feel both of those legs moving. Good. Sink forward, sink. Notice that this right knee has to bend a little bit and shift back. Sink, so we're making a little U forward. Sink back, sink forward. Is your head up? Is your right knee bent right over the toe? Is your back heel still on the ground? Do you feel stable and on balance because your feet are far enough apart? Good. Step back. We'll do it with the left foot. Left foot turns 45 degrees. Step directly forward so the foot goes out. Forward. We have our balance. Our belly button sinks into that left foot. Forward. Push from the hips. Head stays up. Forward over that front right knee. It bends forward into the toes. And there we are. We're solid. Push back. Push forward. Is that back heel down? Is the head up? Do you feel like you have some free movement here? Kind of jiggle with it. Feel where you are. Where are you comfortable? How far can you go without losing your balance and being solid? And of course, if you do lose your balance at all, just sink and you'll catch it back again. Good. So we're forward, head up, heel down, solid, back, forward, sink and back, sink and forward. Notice when you sink, you have to bend this left leg a little bit. So you sink and you shift back, and you sink and you shift forward. You sink back, you sink forward. Excellent. That should do it. Work on those things. This simple step, if you get this, everything else flows so easily. So really, I highly recommend every day, find your balance, step, push, check, grounded. You've got movement. Back heel is down, front leg 90 degrees, head up, comfortable. And from here we can do all kinds of interesting things, move the arms around and have fun with it.